Hi everybody, this is Alchemist Team, and back again with another book review. Um, I'd actually gotten halfway through this wonderful novel here, which is got commentary from one of my favorite people in the entire world, Dr. Hawking, and most of it was basically what I've read in his treatises on relativity and how he comes to his famous equation E equals mc2. He talks about four-dimensional space. He talks about magnetism, which was actually was Maxwell's theory of magnetism, I think. I don't know if I'm getting that right or not, because I'm really tired. He talks about Gaussian coordinates, and it's all very fascinating, I thought. But when he gets into the formulae, so over my head, I just thought, ugh, you might as well be teaching me gibberish because I can't read it. My math is nowhere near that to that level. And I can understand some of it, but there are other parts that I just do not get at all, and I will gladly confess to that. And I like this part about geometry, though. I agree with it. And especially when he says it seems to lie in an intermediate position between the physical science and pure math. Because, well, it does. I like geometry, though. Geometry makes more sense. It, I think without it, you wouldn't be able to do anything needed to measure volume and space and all that. And actually, this helps him in making his postulations and whatnot. There are some commentaries in here from Stephen that I find really tremendous, well worth reading. He's got something in here about ethics that I really liked. It's really short, and one of my favorite things that Einstein speaks of here is how he became interested in the whole idea of physics. When he was in his teens, he speaks of this in his memoirs. He was fascinated by Euclidean geometry. He called it his little holy math book. And I thought, whoa. I mean, who does that when they're teenage years? Not very many people. But confession time. I didn't know what physics was when I was in my teens, but there was a little show out then called Sliders. Perhaps many of you remember that beloved show. The Hub has brought it back. Thanks be to Almighty God. I've started watching this show again and realized that there's a lot of physics humor in it. The cat's named Schrodinger, for one thing, which now I find very funny because I actually get it. When I was 15, I didn't understand why this was funny or what was going on. I understood the idea of portals. I got the basic concept of it. Alternate Earths. Yeah, I did understand. It's just I didn't know anything about M theory then. I just thought, oh, well, that's pretty cool. Hey, I mean, that's theoretically possible. You can do that. You know, I'm a heavy subscriber to that theory. I also enjoy superstring theory. Of course, a lot of people would probably look at me crazy, but I do believe in that. Um, it's just something that keeps evolving and evolving and evolving and evolving, just like any good science does. It's always changing. It's always transforming. It's never the same thing twice. So that's what I love about theoretical physics. It's theory. and that's what makes it exciting to me. And that whole idea of just going into a dimension that takes you to an alternate Earth, but the problem with going into that vortex, you don't know whether you're going to come back to your original planet or not. Oh, I should say reality. It's a little bit tricky. I'm not sure how that would work or how the math would be done in that case. For me, I would be completely confused because the formulae that you get into all the higher math, it's like I said, it's really confusing to me. I can't read it because it's Greek letters, and I wasn't taught any of that. Now, if somebody would just sit me down and say, well, this is this is that, make it simple for me so I can grasp it. Now, I get the general vicinity or the concept of physics. I understand centrifugal force and centripetal force. These two things I was taught when I was 10 years old. Um, yeah, how many children are taught something like that when they're 10? That should give you a little clue as to the type of person I am. But I study this kind of thing for fun and because it interests me. And this is a book I'm going to keep because it's a good reference book. And it's basically another version of Einstein's theory of relativity. If you've read the book, you can get it from Folio, but if you get this version, it's actually a little bit more intriguing because he speaks of himself. And then one thing I really love is his insight when he's 64, and he speaks of this. He says, coming from a man my age being I'm just paraphrasing. Coming from a man my age being about 64, I see things differently uh, compared to the time that I was 30 or 20. That's wisdom. That is just brilliance there. I just thought that's really deep, but a lot of things change when you get older, and I thought of that myself. And 5 years ago, I probably wouldn't have thought of even picking a book like this up because I thought, oh no, it's too hard. Oh, I won't be able to read it. I could just actually I looked just past the formulae because the formulae I can't read at all, but that's okay. I mean, it just takes time to get used to things like that. And I read the literature itself and what he's describing and how he comes to his final conclusion, and it's really interesting. And it shows you how his mind works and the genius that was encapsulated in that brain of his. And there's only one Einstein, and he broke the mold, basically. I'm sorry, my nose itches, but it's really a fascinating book, and if you have a chance to buy it, if you're a fan of theoretical physics like I am, it is a must read. You have to read it. And of course, it's not light reading, but at least it's to me it was enjoyable. I don't know why I enjoy this sort of thing. It just keeps my mind active and it keeps me going and helps me write my time travel stories. Well, I've already written my time travel saga, but having the knowledge that I do, it helps me in grand respect to get true perspective as to how these mechanisms work or how they can supposedly work. And I'm under the impression, same as Michio Kaku, he's he's an optimist. He he believes in time travel. He believes it's possible. He believes in M theory and superstring theory. So I'm a huge fan of his. Hopefully one day I can meet him so I can talk to him. I want to know what he thinks about all these different ideas and concepts and how he puts it all together, because to me it's enough to make my poor brain explode, but keeps me active and it keeps me thinking, and that's what I want to do, because if I'm not thinking, if I'm not processing, if I'm not doing something uh, active with my brain or anything else, I might as well be dead. So that's just my perspective on life. Uh, Dang it. Basically, that's all I have to say about stubbornly persistent illusion. Definitely pick it up if you're a fan of Einstein. I've just got so much respect for Dr. Einstein, and I have ever since I was little. I just feel that he is incredible. He is astronomical. He goes so far and beyond anything I've ever encountered in my literature reading. Um, that goes without saying, though. He is the father of physics, and I know that might sound a bit biased, but that's my opinion, and you can either agree or disagree. I don't mind, because we're all entitled to our opinions. Um, I'm not sure what I'll be doing in the future, but it all depends on how things will shape up, given any number of different unknown uh, unknown factors that are going to occur, whichever they will be. I'm not sure, honestly. None of this really frightens me. Um, whatever will occur, I think that everything will be alright in the end. So I'm not worried. I will see you later.